Hey everybody, welcome back to Mr. Brian's Amazing World. Today, I got something a little bit special for you. We picked up this 1985 250 SX three-wheeler just the other day, and she is a absolute beauty here in really great condition overall. And before we start riding this thing around, there's a couple things I want to do to it. I want to change these tires. Now, the previous person who had this had a set of these original Ahatsu tires, and he just mounted them up on these rims. Yeah, the rims are kind of whatever, but the tires are just about brand new, and you cannot find these or buy these. So before I destroy them, I'm going to take them off. And I mean, it's kind of sad. I wanted to really ride this around. I did take it for the slightest spin, and it's very bouncy and fun, and I kind of miss that compared to the old tires I have on the other SX. But what we did is we went ahead and we got new rims and new Scorpion tires for it, and we're going to switch those out. Now, what I want to show you that's really important with this machine, it's very crucial that you get the proper rims. Now, they need to clear this gigantic brake drum in the back. Now, they're 5-inch offset here, 3.5-inch off the back, and they're 4x110s are the bolt pattern on there. And we just want to make sure that this goes on perfectly like that before we even bother mounting the tire to it. So we're good to go. It fits perfectly right tight to this, and it has this lip around the rim to clear this drum. If you don't have that, your rims are going to stick out here and it's going to be retarded. You need to have that in there. So make sure that you pay attention to that. Otherwise, we'll get this mounted and we'll do our first ride with this thing and show you what it does. And it runs really well. That's about it. I only went like 10 feet with it because I don't want to drive these on these tires. I want to save them for, you know, future use. Maybe in 20 years, I'll be that guy that really wants to have brand new tires on his machine. Otherwise, oh, I don't know. We'll see. The price is only going to go up for original tires. Anyway, make sure you stick around, like and subscribe, follow along, Mr. Brian's Amazing World, and I'll show you this thing. Thank you. Alright, well, here we go. We're going to mount these tires on here. We're going to use our trusty little tire irons and mount them to our rims. These are 8x8 rims for a 250 SX. So the first thing we need to do is get our valve stem and grease it up a little bit so it'll slide in there. Lube her up good. Let's see. A little soap goes a long way here with this. You don't need a whole lot, but get it in the hole there. If you stick a screwdriver in the back of it, wiggle it a little while you're doing it, you can usually get it to push right on in there. Let me get comfortable here as I'm doing it. Now, you don't want to cut into the rim, but you just got to get it in there. There we go, it's almost done. There we go. It's in. Cool. Just check it good to make sure everything looks right and sealed. Nothing's worse than getting it all on and it doesn't work. So now we have at least the valve stem in there. That's like hurdle number 1. There's like 100 of these little hurdles. Now, that's the most important part. I get lazy and tired of going to a rim place or whatever to have my tires changed and paying 20 bucks a shot every time or so. So I learned how to do it with the dirt bikes years ago. We'd get flat tires in the woods and you'd still have to change it anyway, and you kind of get in a rhythm and you know what you're doing. The trick is to use this groove here, and people don't always know that, but if you get the beads of the tire in this groove, it's not so hard to put the tire on the rim. Now with this particular type of rim, if we go this way and work it on there, we're gonna have to fight over this whole rim to get the thing on there. If we go backwards, start here, get this first part in there, then we only have to fight over the one spot and all the bead can sit in this groove. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Like I said, we're going to start from the back side. Well, we're going to kind of do this upside down, if you will. So we're going to lube up our rim here. And I mean, soap goes a long way. It definitely helps. You don't want to use any petroleum stuff because it'll eat at the rim or the rubber. Of course, now I'm all soapy, but that's okay. It's going to help anyway. And you kind of really just have to twist and push, and it should go in enough for the first bit. Now, it's most of the way on there. I need one little pull probably off of this, and it'll come right around. The trick is just slide it right over. Let it grab, pull, and slide so you don't nick your rims. No rush. Take little bites at a time, and it'll just start to grab, pull, and roll it right in there. These little tools, they work so good, and if you can get the last, put them both in there before you pull for the last time, it'll help you out a lot. Probably didn't even need it. Boom, they popped right in there. So we're already halfway through this whole process. Let me find my tire iron here. It fell inside. So now we're looking at this situation. That's okay, because we're dealing with this is sitting in that groove. We have lots of room to move this tire around. If it was stuck there, we're limited to what we can do with this tire. So we'll push it like that, flip it over. Now we're working with this the way we want. Now, the next trick is we're going to want this bead here to drop into that groove. So if we do it here, it's going to hit on the valve stem and really limit how far we can pull the tire for the final push. So if we spin it around and we have the valve stem part as our final spot, it'll give us the most amount of room inside this tire to wiggle it around with the rim. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. Again, let's put a little bit of soap on this side. And I'm not doing too bad here today so far. We'll see. Sometimes it can be really huff and puff putting these in. But, you know, I've learned to wear good crappy clothes because you're probably going to get dirty. Start to one side. Get your weight on it. And you'll see it wiggling around a little bit. I'm going to put some soap on this rim because it's pulling a little on the tire here. And I don't want it to grab at all. I want it to slide right on there. Okay. Now if I put some, there we go. Now I have a lot of weight in it, and basically I have the tire half pinched, just like that. It's already falling into this middle groove where I want it to be. So with that said, I'm going to keep my weight on it like that. It's in the groove. Get my tire irons, put them on the outside. Now these, you want to make sure there's not a point on these. Every part of this is completely dull, especially if you're dealing with tubes. If you're dealing with tubes, you're going to pop them if you use screwdrivers or anything like it. And all I'm doing, I'm barely even using these. I'm just using it as a guide to let the tire slide right over. And it works pretty well. And it's creeping and crawling. I'll come back to this side and I'll do a little bit. And the whole time, the goal is to get this side of the tire in that groove. Working slow. Again, trying to talk and show you and do this and not scratch these rims is tricky. You just really have to take your time and practice and fight it sometimes. You know, it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's a quick 20 bucks in your pocket every time you change one of these, so you know, you get the hang of it. And I don't have to wait on somebody else, it's just done. Almost. Let me get this one in there first. Leave it sit there. It's just sitting over the lip of the tire, so when I pull it, it's there. This one I'm going to do first, and this will be my second one. Whoop, popped it off. So here we go. There's the first. Takes a lot of pressure right there, but it's almost on. And here's the second right there. Done. So just like that, folks, we have one new tire. Now, next step is always fun. What I had done, I don't know if you noticed, this tire was pulled apart. When you get a new tire, they're usually really pressed together. And if you try to mount a tire like that, okay, it goes on the rim easy, but then when you try to blow it up to fit the bead, very hard. Take, when you first get them, and pull them apart. Almost put a reverse kink in this. It widens this out a little bit, and it's already starting to press itself on to seat the bead. Learn that for, you know, tricks of the trade. Other option, I mean, you're using straps, and it works. We might still have to do that. You never know. Looks like it's going to seat pretty well. We'll see. Just be careful, you know. You're putting a bunch of air in for the first time. You want to watch your face. If you hit the tire a couple times, you can get it to go where you want. It's starting to walk itself around. Now, when this starts to happen, be ready. It's going to pop all of a sudden. See? Okay, it popped on this side. Perfect. Now it's seated. What's the other side looking? It's working its way. Make sure your fingers are out of the way. Let me blow this up a little. You can see the bead pop. Sometimes it can be scary. Come on. There we go. It's going right now. Boop. See, I didn't want to put too much pressure in. You know, you start putting a lot, it's like, oh my God, okay, this is still kind of a little soft. Instead, I bounced it, I beat on it, and it worked it right around the bead. So, there we have it, our brand new tire on our nice new aluminum rims. So, here's the difference of what we're looking at. Pretty good. I could put a little more air in these and get these to come up a little taller as well. See if this to match. See how bad of a difference of height and what we're looking at. They're both 22, 10, 11/8 are what both of these tires are. They just, this one balloons up a little higher. So, you know, it gave it that little bit more top speed and bounce. But overall, again, I get to save these beautiful tires and we get to wear out these cheap tires, or cheaper tires. Well, definitely a lot cheaper tires. And we keep these nice originals and save them for the future. And this weighs considerably less than, I wouldn't say considerably, but every pound counts when it's rotating weight. And again, you know, I can spin these no tomorrow in the snow and the mud and not have to worry about them, and when they're done, just pop new ones on. So make sure you like and subscribe. Again, these rims are 3.5 inches on the back spacing, 5 inches on the front, and they're, I believe they're 8x8s, or 8x8.5s. And they're 4/110s for the lug size. But check them out, they're not always easy to find. Got a couple more to do and then that'll be done. So I'm really curious how this is all gonna look now when we put this together. See if we can come over here in any way. Yeah. I'll tip this up. Look at that. Whew. Awesome. Just like that, we have... really? Now you're going to give me trouble? Don't even know how that's hooked on here. There we go. Nope, not. Okay. Here's what we're looking at. It's not sitting completely square because I had that up on the tire, but, you know, that's going to be perfect. Little wheelie king here. Yeah, I like it. It sits in there right. It's not sticking past. Some of those look so dumb if they stick past with the wrong rim. It's so crucial with everything. But, you know, check us out, follow along, like and subscribe. We're going to take this out and have a blast with it as soon as we get these tires switched. Took the 350X out that we just picked up amongst a million other ones. And, you know, it's fun stuff here. But make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day. And go out and work on your toys and get them ready. And make sure to go play.